I thought I would enter court and move out. They give me my civilian clothes and go home, which was not done. Their trick was to convict me, also unlawfully. And they went ahead and convicted me 6 years before Justice General Kajuga. After convicting me, I asked her, how am I going to have justice over the hospital that they alleged defaulted with my HIV test?
These are some of the questions Simon Peter Longoli continues to raise as he seeks redress for the pain he went through. Following his release from prison, Longoli says he sought assistance from the Uganda Human Rights Commission. He says he has since approached other officers for help, but maintains that he's yet to obtain the justice he seeks.
She told me, sentencing me defilement does not remove what the hospital alleged against me and the trauma I went through and psychological torture. I served a sentence. After the sentence, I take a civil suit to court against our hospital for damages.
However, in his pursuit of justice, Longoli is now confronted with several legal challenges.
I have nothing to facilitate lawyers so that I can have justice. I have nothing also to sustain my life, to continue and push my education as I finish. I'm chanced. I don't have any retake.
Legal experts explain that even if Longoli was to seek redress, overturning his conviction may prove difficult since he entered a guilty plea during his plea bargain trial.
But the mere fact that you have admitted, then there it becomes hard for you again to turn otherwise and say, you know what, I never committed these what? Offenses.
Although he says the decision was made out of frustration and a desire to secure his release from prison, the admission now presents a significant legal hurdle.
Plea bargaining is to say, I committed this offense, but I am sorry, please give me a lenient sentence. Now, when you go out and change your word, it does not change the write-up. It does not change the decision of what? Of court, because you are the one who has volunteered.
According to legal practitioner Asman Matovu, the law provides limited avenues for appeal in cases where an accused person voluntarily enters a plea and is convicted without trial.
So if we really needed to seek justice in one way or the other in appealing to the charges that were raised against him, then he ought not to have entered into a plea bargain.
Medical experts also note that while the possibility of incorrect test results cannot be entirely ruled out, such claims require a thorough investigation.
I expected Kawolo, after testing him and finding him HIV positive, to initiate him on drugs immediately, which they didn't do. I realized they again initiated him elsewhere. And from his story, he was not tested again to confirm whether it was HIV positive to start drugs. They just started him on drugs. I see that as a irregularity, which was unfortunate.
Doctors add that experiences of this nature can have lasting effects not only on the individual's physical health, but also their psychological well-being.
When you look at him through his story, he still has a rage against the people who started him on drugs. So one, he needs counseling, that is, he needs therapy, he needs to talk to professionals to calm him down, and again he continues with his life.
The case, they say, highlights the need for stronger oversight and strict adherence to medical testing procedures within health facilities.
Sometimes some of these issues happen simply because there is a lack of supervision. You know, when somebody is tested HIV positive, we are supposed to get any other person to come and verify, not the same person who tested first to verify these results. But you find out there is laxity in as far as supervising the processes and the standard operating procedures of testing that are concerned.
Legal experts also add that if irregularities in the medical or legal processes can be established, Longoli may still have grounds to pursue justice through the courts.
The obligation is on him to arraign whatever evidence that he may need to support his case against the Attorney General.
Delays in the judicial process remain one of the major contributors to prolonged detention for individuals whose cases have not been fully determined. Recently, Norbert Mao acknowledged the challenge and said the government is working on reforms aimed at addressing case backlog in the justice system.
The office of the DPP, many inmates are crying the office of the DPP. Corruption in the same office. When you don't have money, you'll not be free. Criminals are outside. They are not in prison. Criminals end at the police. Files are completed and closed from the police. Then.
Even as a free man, Longoli says his fight is not over. He continues to pursue his education and hopes one day to challenge what he believes was a miscarriage of justice. But without financial resources to hire legal representation, that path remains uncertain.
Government officials who are watching me, the lawyers, the non-government organization, those who support people who cannot support themselves, those who support those who are voiceless, they should also come and support me as a voiceless Ugandan who need to have justice.
For now, Simon Peter Longoli's journey to hell and back shows what happens when the wheels of justice roll the wrong way.
What took me to prison, I didn't commit. But it gave me a lesson also to learn more. To learn more stories about other inmates who are detained in prison illegally.
Betty Modondo, NTV.